I'm walking with Maya Rosas along the sidewalk of State Street on the edge of Little Italy next to the I-5 freeway. Rosas is a cycling advocate for a local nonprofit and a resident of Little Italy. Lined up on the sidewalk here are dozens of bikes belonging to the bike-sharing companies Lime Bike, Mobike, and Ofo.
Yeah, I mean, clearly people aren't getting off of their bikes here.
And
parking them all in the side by side like this.
The bikes were placed here by the Little Italy Association, the neighborhood's business improvement district. Earlier this month, the association asked city officials for a moratorium on the shared bikes, saying they were a liability and could block pedestrian traffic. But Rosa says, based on her own observations, bike sharing in Little Italy has been a huge success.
It's been a total transformation overnight. It's like a dream where people are walking, biking, and driving all in the same place, and it seems to really be working. The only problems I've had is the occasional bike that hasn't unlocked for me. I've seen, families, couples, all just like finding bikes and deciding to ride them just from me walking around, shopping, dining, going out in Little Italy. They're so popular.
Rosas acknowledges some new bicyclists may not know the rules for where to park their bikes.
There's definitely education needed for people who are riding these bikes about where to place them to make sure that everyone can walk down the sidewalk and not have any issues, especially people with strollers or in a wheelchair. But the solution is not to get rid of the bikes. The solution is to educate and to promote the usage here.
The Little Italy Association has a record of opposing projects that cycling advocates support. It came out against a plan to build protected bike lanes across Little Italy and the rest of downtown, in part because some of the bike lanes would take up parking spaces for cars.
I just get pissed off when people disrespect this community.
Marco Lamandri is chief executive administrator of the association. He says he would have appreciated more outreach from the companies.
There was no notification given to us whatsoever. These bikes just all showed up at once. So what we had to do in order to protect the people that live here, who visit here, who work here, who own property and businesses here, we began removing the bikes and getting them off the main streets.
When we visited the sidewalk where the association is placing all the bikes, some of them were partially blocking the sidewalk. Lamandri says that should not have happened, and crews were instructed to leave at least 4 feet of sidewalk clear. As a compromise, he's proposed installing more bike corrals on the street, something bike advocates have long supported. Lamandri says he's a cyclist, and he insists he and the association are not anti-bike. But he also questions the need for the new technology.
We want to accommodate bikes, but we also think that if people who live in downtown want a bike, they should just buy a bike and use it. Like I do it all the time. I go to meetings, I lock it up, and I take off.
So far, the approach of both city officials and bike-sharing companies has been to educate riders on the proper way to ride and park the shared bikes and scooters. Rosa says the Little Italy Association should do the same.
Bikes are great for business. If all of these bikes were in Little Italy, that means somebody was riding them here. Getting rid of them means you're getting rid of their opportunity to come in and out of Little Italy.
Other business associations in San Diego have embraced the Dockless bike-sharing boom as an opportunity. This Saturday, the El Cajon Boulevard Business Improvement Association is hosting a group ride on the shared bikes with stops at businesses in North Park and City Heights. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.